And the question is, you built Leap Taxi to digitize an informal sector, that is the transport. You've seen firsthand what happens when you try to bring technology into industries that have operated on cash and trust for generations. What is the biggest resistance you faced, and what did it teach you about the real barriers to digitizing informal economies?
Thank you very much for that. There's a few factors that I would say were more of eye-opener and would be important for anybody who's planning on creating something new or innovating something that doesn't exist or is there but is not utilized correctly, which the person has to consider. For example, the first one is governance. By governance, what I mean is there is policies, there is regulations that are existing. Some regulations and policies do not necessarily accommodate most systems or way of doing things that are new to an environment. For example, we faced an issue where e-hailing wasn't available at all in Swaziland, so the Act didn't have e-hailing, the policies didn't accommodate e-hailing, but we already brought a business that was e-hailing. So that gives you a little bit of a challenge because you will be delayed in getting licenses and getting permissions to do certain things just because the laws and the regulations and the governance of that country has not yet accommodated that system you're doing. So I believe it's important that before you go into such, you do your due diligence to involve the professionals who can help you with finding the necessary information that align with the government so that you can do that prior before jumping into the situation. Another challenge I can state would be community involvement, community and existing associations involvement. So if you are going to adopt a new way of life, you need to understand that you need to deal with the market first. The market is the community, the market is the people out there. So you need to first make the people understand that this product is for them, it will work for them, and involve them in a way that not only just involving them when you're marketing to say now I have a final product. I'm talking about the process of building the product. So you can understand the market and how they will accept it. Because I can make an example, M-Pesa is big in East and West Africa. But M-Pesa went to South Africa and it failed with flying colors. Because I think they didn't do a due diligence to understand the economy and the people, how they work, how they will operate, how they will accept the service, and involve them in actually creating a solution. So that's one of the things that we did at Leap Taxi. Like another gentleman was saying, we are not reinventing the wheel, we're just innovating. So we studied how Uber operated in all the other African countries, and we realized that that's one of the key things they didn't do properly when it comes to other African countries. They didn't understand the market, they didn't build a system for the market. They just came with their technology and say, this is what we have, take it or leave it. And that's why it didn't work in most places, but it works in some other highly developed countries. So that would be a second point I can mention that is a part of the challenge that we face. And as a lesson to come back to what we learned out of that, I would honestly say preparation. Preparation, and obviously don't try to do something as if it's your own. If you are building a system or a solution for the people, involve the people and partner up with other companies that have already been in such situation to provide necessary statistics for you in order to be able to build a solution that works around and it will be accepted by the area that you are building it for.
Thank you so much. And as you've had it, context is everything. Context is everything. Now, we would have loved to continue with these discussions, but time does not allow us. So, in 30 or less seconds, I'm just going to ask each panelist to tell us something that this room should remember when they leave. In 30 seconds or less, please.
Thank you again. One thing you should remember, we in SACCO sector, we insist. At some point in time, we need money to service ourselves. So, first of all, we need to learn to invest. then we use our investment in order to benefit it in the future. For example, if you want to build a good house today, maybe in 5 years to come, then you build up capital via your investment of maybe a Akiba or a Mana, then SACCOS will use that fund to provide you a loan. A good example is BCD SACCOS. We are providing a loan up to 150 million for 5 years at the lowest interest rate of 6.2%, which is lower than any other financial institution in Tanzania, especially in SACCO sector. So learn to save so that you benefit. Thank you.
Okay, so I think one thing I can leave with everyone in here as a proud Pan-African is Africa is not behind when it comes to finance and fintech, right? We created trust without branches. We created credit without collateral. We did so many things that the Western world told us was a waste of time. So when we look at that, I think it shows us that there's so much that we've done when we look at the past 2 decades. Of course, there's a lot to do, but there's so much that has been done, and we can pat ourselves in the back for a job well done. Thank you.
Maybe just a quick one on what to take home. My thought on what Africa has is we have the numbers, we have the capacity, we have the capability of building systems beyond what we've done now. The only challenge that we're facing right now is on how we can work on dealing with the fragmented markets so that we can really have one major, thing that can push us to the future. Another challenge that I can ask all the players in the ecosystem to think of is everyone who has an idea has something to bring on the table. If there is a way both players can work on during the process of integration, we can give room for growth so that we face the future as a big team, and that is going to fix the mess within the continent in the fragmented systems.
Okay, so what I need to emphasize is for fintech not to work in silos. Whatever product you have, it's easier if you partner it with somebody who is already in the market. That will assist you to leverage on the trust that existing solution has for you to be able to scale up. And remember, whatever product you are trying to create, ensure that you do thorough market survey to understand really customer pain for you to be able to resolve that pain. And so that you can be able to create a product which is customer centric and to probably give you assurance for you to perform into the market. Thank you.
For me, I would like every African person in here, when they walk away from here, to go back home and think about African solutions, think about how they can build African solutions for Africans. And we always listen to motivational speeches that say start. Don't be afraid, start. Yes, start. But now we need to start with integrity. We are smarter. We can't just jump into the deep end if you don't know how to swim. So you need to prepare yourself, do some due diligence work, do some research, go to your competition, find out how they operate, ask for past year reports. You put yourself in the low end, in the ground, dirty your hands, before you just come up with a solution to build a solution. Because we are looking for African solutions, but the problem is we're using too much technology without actually building solutions that will work for the African market. So I would like everybody to take that with you, especially if you're a young person inside. No matter what you are, even if you don't know IT yourself, but if you're thinking of a solution that needs IT to make it work, you might make it work, but do some research, find partners, go make yourself a fool and act like nobody somewhere so you can get the necessary information to start properly. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, those are 5 voices, one message. The financial ecosystem Tanzania needs won't be imported. It has to be built by people in this room, by entrepreneurs we have not yet met, by regulators willing to take smart risks, and by communities who demand to be included. The foundations are being laid. The question is whether we lay them fast enough and strong enough for what is coming. Thank you for our panelists. Thank you for the Fintech Society of Tanzania. And thank you everyone, that is the audience, for being part of this conversation. Let's get to work. Thank you.
Before they leave, please, before they leave, let's give them a round. Listen. I mean, panelists is your yes. That's what I was looking forward to. Yes. Thank you so much. One photo for them. Awesome. Amazing. All right, as they're taking a photo, what I would need from them is our guest of honor, if I can have you stand and walk to the stage and stand in between for that photo. Thank you so much. Yep. I think it should be, yeah. No. Okay. Then Violet again. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now let's have that photo.